If you've been considering building a home in or around Fargo, North Dakota, stop what you're doing and watch this video first. On this episode of Living in Fargo, North Dakota, we are covering all the most important things to know before you sign your contract to build. I'm Megan Oy with Remax Legacy Realty, and every day I talk to people just like you. So whether you are 9 days or 90 days from your move to or around Fargo, North Dakota, or from starting your build process, I'm here to help make that a smooth transition for you. All of my contact information is listed in the description below. Feel free to reach out to me in whatever way is comfortable for you. Make sure to hit subscribe and tap the bell for notifications if you're new to the channel, so that you're staying up to date with all things Fargo, North Dakota, and the surrounding areas. Now, let's get into the important things to know before you get in the ground with your new home. The first thing on our list of things to know is location. Now, this is important because we are along the Red River, which separates North Dakota from Minnesota. Not all builders that are licensed to build in North Dakota are going to choose to build in Minnesota as well. So most do, but not all of them do. So figuring out what location you're going to be building in is going to be important. Along with this, there's different building codes in Minnesota and in North Dakota. Minnesota has a few more building requirements than North Dakota in terms of things they must include in their new construction homes, things that are really good for the structure in general, like an air exchanger, passive radon mitigation, blower door tests, flood-proofing the foundation. These things are important, but they're not required in the state of North Dakota. So many times, builders won't include it in their base pricing, as majority of the new construction is happening on the North Dakota side of the river. Now, that's not to say they won't do it in the North Dakota side, but they don't do it automatically. So you will pay a little more with that same builder to build at the base price in the state of Minnesota than you will at the base price in the state of North Dakota. Another thing to keep in mind with location is that not all builders want to go very far from town. Some will just stay within the metro of Fargo, West Fargo, Horace. And then once you get out to those surrounding communities like Castleton, out to Detroit Lakes, the lakes areas, they'll start charging travel fees, travel charges. Now, those can go anywhere from 1% to 3% to maybe more, depending on how far they're willing to go. Some builders will do that, and some builders just won't go. Some builders will only stay in the metro, and they'll actually refer your business out to their competition if you're looking to go somewhere a little farther. The reason for this is they have so much business in town that they don't need to take the time to go out to those places, or maybe they just don't have the ability to go out to those places because they're so busy here. So, figuring out your location, how close you are to town, and what side of the river you're going to be on is going to be the first step. Number 2 important thing to know before building a home is your budget. Now, this might seem like an obvious one to you, and of course you need to know what your budget is when you're buying a home that's existing as well. But with new construction, there's a few more reasons why it's important. Reason number 1, you don't know which builders you can work with until you know what you have to spend. Now, all the builders don't build in every price range. Some of them are on the luxury end, some of them are on the entry-level end of new construction, so really understanding what you can afford is important. Of course, you're going to need to get pre-approved with a lender. A builder will require a pre-approval letter before accepting a contract to build. They're also going to want to know what's your plan with your current home. If you have a home to sell, your lender will need to know, and your builder will need to know. And with this, they're going to want to know what your plan is. That's when you bring in someone like me, a realtor, to help you determine your market value. And we determine that by looking at comparable sales for your home in your area within the current market conditions. Now, once you have a list price determined, it's easy to bring that to your lender so they can give you an idea of your out-of-pocket expenses, your monthly payment, and the things that you'll be looking at with your current budget. When we go to the builder, they're going to want to know what your actual listing plan is. Some builders won't start digging until your home is under contract with a buyer. Some builders won't start digging until your home is sold. It really depends on the builder and the situation and the market. It's kind of a moving thing. There have been times when builders will say, yes, we'll take a contingent offer, contingent on your home selling, and we'll just start digging right away. Maybe that's a market where they know your home's going to sell, or that they could easily sell the home that you're trying to build. But sometimes they won't do that. So working with a realtor on that is going to be incredibly beneficial to you. Another reason knowing your budget is important is because we have something unique in our area, something that's not so special, but we call them special assessments. New construction comes with loads of special assessments, and what they are is they get paid in from the homeowners to the county, and they pay for all the infrastructure that goes into a development. Now, they are ongoing forever. So if you're in an established neighborhood that was first dug in the 70s and you have something happen with the sewer system in that development, they're going to come in and fix it, and they're going to charge everyone special assessments. You pay them in with an annual installment, but they have a bulk amount that is due over time. You can pay it off right away, or you can pay the annual installment, which is significantly less usually. Now, with new construction, like I said, these are going to be important because you have the whole lump sum of what it costs for the infrastructure of the development. And I mean everything from the roads to the utility lines to the lights to parks and playgrounds and bike paths. All those amenities have to get paid for. And so instead of the builders paying for them or charging within the lot price for them, we do it a little different here. You pay them in with your taxes on an annual basis, and they're not so special. People don't love them. But when you're looking at new construction, you're looking at the lot, the house price, and then also the specials, because they can go anywhere from $20,000 to $80,000, depending on the size of your lot and the amenities that you have in your development. So that is going to affect the amount of house you can afford if you're considering lots that have more or less specials. For more information on specials assessments, I would say get in touch with a local lender. We don't love non-local lenders here when it comes to new construction because specials are unique to our area. And when I say unique to our area, I mean within a 45-mile radius of Fargo, North Dakota. You don't really see them anywhere else. So an out-of-state lender might miss it and might approve you, and then you end up not being able to only close on the home, but not being able to afford your monthly payment, which is terrifying. So we like to work with local lenders on things like this because they understand what the specials are, how to factor them in, how to anticipate changes in them, if we're going to be getting more or if we could pay them off easily. We just have the know. So working with a local lender on your pre-approval, getting your budget down, very important. Number 3 on our list of things to know when you are building a home in or near Fargo, North Dakota is your timeline. Now, a lot of times when you think new construction, you're only thinking about the actual digging and building of the home, but there are different levels of getting into a brand new home. The first is that one I just mentioned, where you're picking your lot, you're building out your floor plan, tons of meetings and finish selections. It's really detailed. That is probably going to take about a year or more if you're looking at completely customized. Now, the next option would be to go with one of the builder's floor plans. This is a little quicker. You're going to look for more to 4 to 6 month mark on that, where you're going to pick your builder, pick your lot, pick your floor plan, and then choose from their finishes and work with their design team. That one is more like a well-oiled machine. We have a lot of builders that do it that way. They can still customize the floor plans a little bit, but you generally stay within the box, and it is an easy process. Option number 3 would be to go with something that's already under construction. A lot of builders have a lot of inventory going up, and they have it in different phases of construction. So you might be able to get in just in time to choose the colors, the cabinets, the countertops. Maybe all you want to do is be able to add a deck and lawn to it. Whatever it may be, that's going to be a much quicker option, maybe the 2 to 3 month point. And then your third option is going to be to buy a model home. This is the easiest and the quickest. It's like closing on just your regular home that you would have bought off the market that somebody lived in, or even quicker. These homes are sitting and ready and available, and the builders want to move them. So if you could close quick, chances are they can too. A lot of times builders will also do additional incentives for their model homes to get them off of their inventory. So that's something to keep in mind. The last thing with timeline that you need to make sure that you are aware of is there are months here where we cannot dig. It gets so cold that we can't dig. But I should say that I guess we can, it just costs a lot of money because the builders will actually have to heat the ground to dig and then heat the concrete for your foundation and things like that. It can get a little pricey. So making sure you're timing out your fresh dig for the other 3 months of the year to make sure you can avoid those cold weather charges is really highly recommended. The next thing we're touching on is how to choose a builder. Now, we've already gone through a lot of the steps before you can choose your builder to help you narrow down your search for builders, including knowing your location, knowing your budget, and knowing your timeline for when you need to be in your new home. But even within that, once you narrow it down that far, there are still going to be a lot of builders for you to choose from. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Building a home in Fargo, North Dakota and the surrounding areas is a very popular decision. We have tons of new developments popping up all the time, all over the community for new opportunities to build your next home. Again, the builders aren't all created equal though, and they don't all have the same attention to detail and the same quality. So once you determine your budget, your timeline, and your location that you want to be in, that's when we narrow down the builders. From there, we check out their quality and the different products they offer, different floor plans, different things to fit your style. And from there, you also want to hear about their processes. Some builders are going to have really well-oiled machine processes where they've done it a bunch of times and they can tell you exactly what to expect. Some are more custom that don't do as many homes per year, and maybe it's a little more all over the place for their process. It doesn't mean it will be a bad one. It just means there's a little less expectations set beforehand. We always say that the experience is totally determined by the process. Was it a fun process for you to go through? Was it really well communicated what to expect? Or did you feel out of the loop the whole time? That will determine your entire experience. And the builders around here, they're all great. They're all incredibly competitive. So narrowing down your builder based on quality, processes, and all of the things that we've talked about prior to this is going to be important. And that brings us to our final thing we're going to discuss today, and that is working with an experienced realtor. And when I say experienced, I don't mean they've been in the industry and helped a lot of people buy and sell. I mean, they have had specific experience in new construction homes. Buying a new home may seem similar to buying a home that was existing and had a previous owner, but there are a lot of things that are not the same. And having an agent who's navigated that process before and knows what to expect and what's normal in new construction can help you soothe all of your fears and anxieties when it comes to building your new home. And that will define your experience as well. Also, having an agent who knows what questions to ask, maybe questions that you don't even know to ask, is going to be incredibly helpful for you. And after almost a decade of myself working in new construction, I know that having an agent is the best asset that you can have on your side as a buyer. Now, also with having a realtor is going to be somebody to help you navigate all those builders. Your experienced new construction agent should know all the builders in the area and they should know what products and quality that they offer within what budget. So you don't feel like you're starting from scratch, not knowing who to talk to, not knowing what people offer in your budget, in your timeline, with the quality that you desire. Like I said, having a realtor is going to be great for you. That's everything I wanted to discuss today before you get in the ground with your new construction home in Fargo, North Dakota and the surrounding areas. My name is Megan Oy with RE/MAX Legacy Realty, and I help people just like you every day. My contact information is listed below if you'd like to reach out. Make sure to hit subscribe and tap the bell for notifications to be up to date on all things happening in Fargo and the surrounding areas. We'll see you on the next one.